My name is Oduol Victor. Oduol was an aspirant MCA North Alego Ward in this just concluded ODM nominations. First and foremost, I want to thank all North Alego residents for turning out in large numbers and ensuring that their voice is heard on the ballot. But to our disappointment, first, I want to begin by saying that the ODM nominations were not conducted in a free, fair, credible and verifiable manner so as to ascertain the will of the North Alego residents. I say so because, one, there were massive rigging in the manner in which the digital voting exercise was being conducted. People were able to vote more than once in certain polling stations, and more so in the polling stations where the incumbent enjoys what he calls massive support. Two, the manner in which the register and identification of voters was being done was not credible and verifiable. There are so many instances in which members' identity were not being done and they proceeded to vote without their identity being ascertained. Two, the digital platform in itself failed. It failed in two instances. First, during the voting exercise, whereby it could collapse and they would receive signals from the headquarters and restore the session. And this, to our surprise, is not a free and fair exercise in the ordinary way, the manner in which elections are being conducted. The other limp is that the incumbent enjoyed support from the poll officials. We had polling stations where the incumbent had his own supporters as electoral officers. It has never happened in any manner. Exactly. And this caused a lot of confusion to the members of the public and threat and blackmail and harassment in the manner they would have wished to vote for their people. An instance is in Gombe and Barcodiambo, whereby the poll officials who are supporters and who are workers, let me say workers, of the incumbent were directing residents and voters on how to vote. This in itself did not turn out to be a free and fair, credible election. Two, the other bit was massive bribery, whereby voters who are aligned to the incumbent were allowed to vote repeatedly, yet those who are not in support of the other candidates would not be allowed to even vote and enter the voting hall. Three, we would realize that the voting in other stations ended so early and well, and the declarations were done promptly. But when you look at Gombe, where the incumbent enjoys what he calls massive support, it was deliberately delayed with an aim of ensuring that they manufacture results. One of the stream had its results not announced properly and not announced to the public. It headed to the tallying center, where it has not been declared and announced to this time, to date. Our question is, why was it that all other stations had their results announced in time and the declared winners announced? What is so special with Gombe polling station, where its results were delayed, one station not announced, yet a winner is declared at the polling center? This has not happened in any part of the world. It is not a credible, free and fair exercise. Lastly, I conclude by saying that we call upon the NEB, the National Elections Board, to move faster, very fast, and ensure that the will of those who have won free and fair is granted to them. As an aspirant, I would say that if I lose squarely and free, I would agree. But in a shambolic election exercise where it is tilted towards supporting a candidate by the NEB officials and even the returning and presiding officers, will not agree. And I want to tell each and every resident of North Alego, stand firm, come out in large numbers, protest these rigged shambolic elections, and ensure that whoever wins free and fair in a credible manner is granted the certificate. Yeah. This is the last call. This is the last call to the NEB elections. If you joke around with the North Alego and ensure that you don't grant the person who won free and fair, we are headed to the general elections and it will be a big shame onto the party. So I want to personally, as an electoral expert, declare that there were no free and fair elections in North Alego ward. May the NEB elections come out and ensure that this shambolic election is set aside and whoever won free and square is given the ODM certificate, or they nullify the entire election and the two go to the ballot and square it free and fair.
Adhiambo Ogutu, well known as Anyasembo. I want to start by saying, by giving a lot of thanks to the North Alego residents for voting me in large numbers. I want to thank them because it was raining and women were just on the queue being rained on. Men were on the queue. The old were not left out. They came out in large number to vote me in as their next MCA. So I want to take this juncture to thank you all for what you did to me. Secondly, the ODM nominations were not fair, were not free and fair. What happened, we can't tell to date. For other kids, like the kids in Gombe Komolo polling center, I myself went there. The voting was going on well. I don't know what happened from 5 p.m. to 10 when the results were not yet released. From Mumala, they finished early and gave out the result. From Gotoenga, they finished out very early and gave the result. Barco Diambo did the same. Everything went on so well. Apart from Gombe Komolo, we don't know what happened there. And when I went to the tallying center, that was here Institute, I was told, I told them that they are called what? One kit has not opened. So I don't think you should announce these nominations results. One, Dr. Usuri told me it should not be announced if the other kit is not opened because they said they are lacking the password. So I sat there knowing that North Alego ward results will not be declared. What happened that they decided even to declare North Alego ward nominations and yet one kit was not opened? That is a question. Third, I'm saying, North Alego ward, if MCA Vincent Odaba is given the nomination certificate, he will not be voted in August. Let the NEB come out. Let ODM come out. Repeat the nominations in North Alego ward. Last and not least, as a woman, as a widow, our people came out and said they want change. Mbona wanatunyang'anya? To His Excellency, the 5th President Raila Odinga, you said you want women and you wanted to bridge the 2/3 gender rule. Why are you denying me an opportunity? Why are you denying me an opportunity? I won these elections and I'm crying out to the Women League of ODM, who called us for a meeting in Nairobi saying that they'll defend our rights. Where are you now? Where are you now? Come out! Come out! I'm finishing by saying, wacha wanyang'anye wanawake. Wacha wanyang'anye wanawake, lakini ikifika tarehe 9 mwezi wa 8, I'm telling you these people will not come out to vote. Our people will not vote. Na haki kwa mama, haki kwa mjane. Tuko na haki ya kusimama uchaguzi. Nasema North tulishinda, tupewe tikiti yetu.
Samuel Ochieng Jonyo. Mimi ni mpiga kura katika Nina polling station, na yaliyofanyika siku ya tarehe 13 ni jambo ambalo ilinikera moyoni mwangu. Sisi tulijitokeza kufanya uchaguzi na tulikuwa wafuasi wa Madam Rosemary. Tulifanya juhudi zote na haki bila kuwa na ubaguzi wowote wala rushwa yoyote. Na kilichoniudhi ni kwamba wale walikuwa wakingangania hiyo kiti. Kuna yule anaitwa Odawa Vincent. Siku ya tarehe 12 usiku alikuwa akitembea na kuwapatia kila watu shilingi 500. Kesho yake siku ya tarehe 13 unaingia kwa gari unapewa shilingi 200.
Toka katika kichuo cha Ulafu Bar Kodhiambo, mimi nilisimama na Mama Rosemary, na katika ile hali ya uchaguzi ambayo tulikuwa nayo hapa Bar Kodhiambo ilikuwa vizuri vile, lakini kitu ambayo ilitushangaza vile, tulikuwa tunachagua vizuri, mama alikuwa mbele, na ilifika wakati mwingine system eti ilikuwa inajifunga, inakataa kuchukua. Sasa ndio tulikuwa tunauliza, mbona hiyo system ilikuwa ifanye kazi vizuri ikifika wakati wa kuhesabu kura? Ya pili, tulikuwa na mama hapa na gombea wenzake. Mwingine alikuwa anaitwa Vincent Otieno Odawa, alikuwa anasambaza pesa katika mahali ambayo tulikuwa tunapiga kura. Sasa katika hiyo hali ambayo ya kupiga kura, hatujui ni nini iliendelea mwishowe. Baada ya kupiga kura, tunasikia wanatuambia eti Vincent ndiye amewania hiyo kiti cha mashinani hapa North Alego. Sasa kitu ambacho tulikuwa tunaitisha kama watu wa North Alego, sisi tumekubali kusimama na Raila Amolo Odinga katika ile hali yoyote ambayo atakuja nayo, lakini tulikuwa tunaomba kama wamama tupewe haki yetu. Tunaomba hali tupewe haki yetu kama wamama, ili hali mama ambaye amesimamia ili eneo ya North Alego ni mjane. Usisahau ya kwamba ni mjane. Kwa hivyo mpaka wajane pia wapewe haki yao. Sio eti mjane anang'ang'ana usiku na mchana, analipa pesa, anafanya nini, lakini wakati wa kupewa tikiti yake anaambiwa eti hajafaulu. Lakini sisi kama watu wa North Alego bado tunasimama tukisema ya kwamba wamama wapewe haki yao, na watu wote wa North Alego wapewe haki yao, na watu warudie kura. Na wakisharudia kura, na kura mimi nilikuwa naomba tu warudie kura kati ya watu wawili ambaye ni Rosemary Ogutu na Vincent Odawa.
Okay, kwa majina naitwa Lilian. Natoka katika kituo cha Umala. Mimi nikisimama hapa, chenye nilikuwa niko nayo kwa moyo wangu, maombi yangu ilikuwa kwa Mheshimiwa Samuel Atandi. Wakati alikuja hapa kutafuta kura, yeye mwenyewe alisimama akasema ya kwamba hiki kiketi cha NCA mpatie Mama Rosemary Ogutu. Na Mama Rosemary Ogutu, sisi kama wamama tulisimama nyuma yake na tulimpea kura. Sasa inasemekana dakika ya mwisho siwezi jua ni nini litendeka. Juu mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa katika kituo cha Umala. But ombi yangu kama wamama, nilikuwa naomba Mheshimiwa Tandi atoke nje aongee ili huyu mama apewe tiketi yake. vile wamama walimfanya nini, walimpigia kura. Sasa ninaomba isifike kesho kama mheshimiwa Tandi hajatoka nje aseme jambo, atoke nje aongee.
As this opportunity to comment about the results that were released on 14th at 1 p.m. One thing that I must say is that subsequent to the results that were released in Alego Usonga, I have certain reservations on what may qualify this process to have been flawed. One is that there was massive violence. Violence was seen before, during, and even shortly after the announcement of results. Therefore, we must say that we condemn the violence that took place. I have areas where violence were noted, were seen, and some of the people were admitted in the hospital, and we have indicated as such in our report to the party. Kirindo, there was violence, Nyanganga, Karapul, and many others. So we want to say that due to violence, it was possible that some of the voters were scared and they ran back home without voting. And I believe that those who were scared must have been my voters. Number two, there was serious massive bribery during the voting. And we have seen and we have given evidence of the incumbent Samuel Atandi bribing people, campaigning on the day of the voting, and being mobbed by people, and he didn't do anything, neither did the security guarding him do anything to remove those people from him, meaning that he campaigned on that day. And during that time, he also bribed the people. We have given an evidence where he held money on his hand, giving out to the voters. Number three is the manipulation of various kits. We must agree, all those people who participated, and some of the agents are here, and we have also the coordinators. There was the issue of kids coming. Some were disabled. Areas where I had strong support, they were bringing one kit. Areas where an incumbent was perceived to be having a lot of support, they were taking more kits. That therefore disenfranchised our people from voting for me. I take that as a very serious grievance. It took a long time for some kits to be taken to the voting centers. And you all are aware that Nyanganga, Ochilo, and some other areas did not even have, they had kits which were not working. So the county returning officer was called. The constituency returning officer was called to come and address the issue. They were reluctant until some of the voters decided to go for him. That is when it was brought. And even when it was brought, some of the kits were not working. That therefore disenfranchised the process. We are aware, if you look at the voting pattern, the way the technology has been designed is in such a way that when you are voting, you must vote the MCA, you submit, you vote, the member of parliament submit, and then you vote the women rep. There was no way you could move to another stage. That therefore left us with the belief that at the end of the day, the votes cast should be the same for the MP, for MCA, and also for the women rep. But you have seen a situation where some votes are more for women rep, and the MP is less, and the one for the women rep is also less. What does that mean? It means that some manipulation took place, and therefore that leaves me with the idea that this thing was already worked on before they even came. Look at a situation where I have 31 in one area. Women rep is also 31, but the MP is almost 300. I mean, the incumbent is almost 300. What did that mean? It meant that the MP was supposed to be given more points so that it could, nobody could challenge the results. Because of the above 4 points, I want to believe that the votes that was cast, and I have inquired, I've realized that I was given 28,000 votes in Alego Usonga, but the incumbent was given only 7,000 votes. But if somebody, for whatever the case, wants to disapprove this, let them open the system and let them confirm that what I'm saying is not true. It may be hypothetical, as somebody may say, but I am saying that is the truth. But if somebody is doubting it, please open the kit and let us see what happens. You will see that disparity, and that disparity connotate the fact that there was abuse and massive rigging in the just concluded nominations. Thank you.
So tunampatianga period ya kuna kuangana 4 months na kuna kuangana 6 months hata ania. You get. The best thing with us atukuangi na ile interest ati ukipitisha ati 6 months ati kuna interest rate. Hapana, yetu inakuanga 0 interest rate. Unaona? So shamba zetu total ya 50 by 100 tunaziuza na 299, that's 300,000. And then hiyo 399 unaeka a deposit of from 50,000 to 100,000, and then now the rest unatuambia utakuwa ukilipa kwa na njia gani, kama ni 6 months ama ni 4 months, 6 months ama a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to any maybe kuna youth anatuona hapo hivi na maybe yeye anataka ile kupata shamba na pesa kidogo, yani alipe ya book na pesa kidogo. The least money unaweza book nayo ni how much?
Okay, unaweza book na you can book with as much as 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah, 50,000. And then sasa uendelee sasa kulipa kidogo kidogo. Yeah. But for further communication, at least anaweza reach out now kwetu atuambie nataka kuna shamba hapa Kenya na niko na hii do na nataka kuona shamba ni kama youth ama mi kama mzee ama anybody anywhere, na tutaelezeana tujue venye anaweza pata hiyo shamba.
Na kama hivyo leo nimeona ulikuwa na clients, umekuja ukaonyesha shamba, ukaonyesha site vile kunakaa, mnakuanga na specific date, mnasema mnaiweka kando, mnasema hii ya kuleta watu waangalie shamba?
Actually what hata nikwambia, unaona clients wenye walikuwa wamekaa hapa au ni watu wa diaspora. Ni watu wa nje sana. Actually watu wa nje sana wananunua mashamba sana. Juu wanataka wasikue ati walienda kufanya kazi huko ama walienda huko nje and then walikuja wakakosa hata hawajanunua mashamba, unaona. So percentage yetu kubwa imekuwa watu wa diaspora wako nje. Kuna hata wase wengine wanafanya kazi kule Doha, kule Qatar, pia wote wananunua mashamba, unaona.